welcome to this very special episode of Blue Devil's Advocate. With Christmas right around the corner, kids are ready to put away the books and open up the gifts.
In this episode, we will be covering a student who thrives on being a leader in the community, why MRH students get out of school so late, and how our seniors are dealing with the challenges of senioritis.
At MRH, we have a large variety of student leaders. One in particular is Gabby Williams. Let's go to Joey with coverage on the story on how Gabby is distinguishing herself as a leader of tomorrow.
What student is known around the school for their passion for fashion, personality, and all-around great attitude? Gabby Williams is being called a leader of tomorrow, but what exactly makes her worthy of that title? We went straight to the source to find out what makes this MRH senior stand out.
It is very important for my teachers to see me as a leader of tomorrow and my peers, because I want them to know that you can come from a little bit of something and become this fabulous person like myself, and that no matter how many people try to tear you down, you have to keep going. You have to knock the negativity out of the door, and you have to rise above it and become something very special like myself, the leader of our tomorrow. And speaking of that, there are a lot of kids that I see potential in this school, and like me myself, you like a lot of the kids are really negative, so you have to find people that support you. So over the summer, I was invited to become a member of the Supreme team. It's like a alliance for successful youth in St. Louis. So that's why I feel like it's important for me to be that role model for kids.
But Gabby isn't just tooting her own horn. We caught up with some MRH faculty to find out what Gabby's doing to distinguish herself.
Gabby Williams is a strong individual. She has a very strong personality that comes across through her enthusiasm. She's often really excited. Sometimes she gets loud, but she is what I would consider a leader, and a lot of the students here at Maplewood look up to her.
The achievement that Gabby is most proud of during her time at MRH is her involvement with the MRH Thrift Store, a project she is helping to launch.
She mentioned it to me once, and we talked a little bit about how to put it into place. Something like that normally takes a little bit to get all the details worked out. It's a wonderful idea, and if we can pull it off, I think it's great to make sure that those of us who have shirts and pants and sweaters that we don't use that are still in good shape are going back into our community, and especially at a reduced price. So so communities that have a little bit have a hardship financially can afford some of these nicer clothes or newer clothes. It's a wonderful thing, and so it's a way to give back to the community.
Only time will tell how successful the thrift store will be. What will you do to make a positive mark on MRH?
Hey Calvin, have you ever wondered why we get out of school so late in the day?
Yeah, there's a lot of schools that get out earlier than we do. I wonder why that is.
Many students have the same questions. Let's see if Amber Perry can shed any light on this story.
Our school day ends at 3:10, giving MRH one of the latest release times in the St. Louis area. Why does our school get out so late? We have a challenge with the district being so small and the buses needing to be in 3 different locations with a limited amount of time, says Grower.
This is a big issue that I went back and forth with last year with Superintendent Central Office, the bus companies, and all of that, trying to maybe start a little bit earlier and end a little bit earlier as well was kind of a goal. However, there is some research that does show, in fact every research does show that starting high school later for teenagers, they're more alert. And again, I think everybody's different. To say everybody's more alert, I'm kind of a morning person myself. I've always been that way. But in general, that's the research out there that says that. Was the time period that we've gone. Last year we got out at 3:10, this year at 3:05. So other schools I've worked at, we got out around 2:30, 2:40. It's hard to compare one school to another because there's different clientele. But no, I don't really know the answer to that.
With our 3:10 release time, students get out of school 5 minutes earlier than last year. We did research in other schools in the St. Louis area and determined that we get out later than almost any other school. We looked at the schedules of 7 other schools, and here's what we were able to find out. Maplewood school days start at 8:05 and end at 3:10. On our early release days, we get out at 1:25. Brittner High School also starts at 8:05, but their school day ends 20 minutes earlier than ours, ending at 2:50. Pattonville High School starts at 7:23, ending at 1:07. McClure North High starts at 7:15, ending at 2:20. Ladue starts at 7:40, ending at 2:20. Clayton High School starts at 8:20, ending at 3:01. Hancock High School starts at 7:40, ending at 2:40. And that leaves us with Webster Groves High School, which starts at 7:55, ending at 2:35. Although release time has been shortened compared to last year, things such as class time have been stretched, causing difficulties for students with after-school, school jobs, and sporting events. How is the late release time taking its toll on the students and faculty? And how does it affect after-school activities?
Late release time doesn't really affect me that much, except when I go to work, I have to rush to work because I can only have 5 minutes to get to work, so.
Whether or not our schedule will be changed anytime soon is still to be seen. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Amber. Are the seniors of MRH becoming lazy? Has the whole class of 2011 come down with an acute case of senioritis? What is senioritis, and what preventive measures can be taken to combat it? Gabby Williams has more on this potential epidemic.
May completely be infected. Senioritis attacks high-achieving, average, and struggling students alike. We spoke with a few victims of this dreadful disease. To have an easy breezy senior year.
The steps I would suggest are keeping your grades first and foremost important. Every year counts, so senior year the grades are just as important as freshman, sophomore, and junior year. Just keeping each day, each week, a priority of keeping up on your classes. Don't let yourself slip. I think senioritis occurs to a large group every year. I mean, I think I could think of about 20 students in mind that, for whatever reason are getting a little bit ahead of themselves. And that's kind of what I think senioritis typically is. It's when students feel like graduation is a given and they can just coast and graduate. But there's a lot of work to do before that actually happens. So.
As a senior, yes, I have found it harder because of the simple fact there's a lot of distractions, just such as applying for other schools and looking for applications.
Okay. What are some of the
My attendance and behaviors have changed not that much because my attendance always been on point, and my behavior, I've just gotten lazy, to be honest with you.
The difference between now and then is that, back then, teachers were more understandable. They gave you time to complete your assignments, but as the years go on, you get more mature now. So you become mature adults, so you're responsible for your work, getting in on time. My attendance changed over the years by, becoming more dedicated to my school, to my schoolwork. Attendance is very important. College, look at that, so I try to make it my best every day to be here on time.
Harder to complete my assignments on time, but I find that our teachers are less lenient as with our due dates and stuff because they know that our professors in college aren't going to be like, oh, well, here's your assignment on Monday. If you don't do it by Tuesday, you can just give it to me on Friday. So having to do it the night it's assigned is what's hard for me. Okay. The distractions as a senior that I have to deal with are working, keeping up with cheerleading, and just hanging out with friends, making time for them and myself. My attendance this year hasn't really changed, but my behavior is I just don't care. I've been accepted to my top choice college, so why do I really need to try anymore? So I don't give full effort to anything I do in class anymore.
Okay.
Thanks, Gabby.
Thanks for watching this special holiday edition of Blue Devil Advocate. See you next year.
Happy holidays from the Blue Devil Advocate! Why did you stop?
In this episode, we will be covering a student who thrives on being a leader in the community. Is there something funny? Am I doing it?
No. It's
Jason.
Not you, it's me.
Okay.
Alright, you can go ahead. I think I'm good.
Gabby Williams has more on this, but then.
Hey.
Alright, I'm good. I'm sorry.
Hey Calvin, have you ever?
Hey Calvin, why?
Alright,
I'm just trying to project.
Alright.
It's cool.
Yeah, let's...
Wait, come on, man. Let him quick.
Does it get long?